Well, good morning, everybody. It's 7:30 Eastern Time, which means that it's 1:30 here in Amsterdam. And I don't know why, but my camera is not doing what it should, but I think you can hear me well. I hope that you can. Yes, you can. So, good morning, Sue. Good morning, Walt. Good to see you also here. And this is just something that I'm doing on every Monday now. And on Monday, I'm gonna do a little bit more about the way how I trade, so you don't have to. We're gonna talk about some stocks also, of course. Stocks that are in are of interest to me in this. I don't know why my camera doesn't work. It's just funny. Well, that's the way it is. Okay, so just to talk about how this works, talking about how I trade is talking about gap up and levels, then the setup, then risk management and exit strategy. I'll talk about all those things, and well, you can copy them or you can say, okay, this is also how I trade, and I really want to trade like you do because, well, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago you saw the results that I have with this type of trading, and it's really interesting to do the same. Well, I hope that I hope that you really think that, because that's would be great. But at the same time, you have to be sure that you trade your own strategy. So about the first thing that you want to learn about my trading, Becky is not the best example. I'm going to look at these are all not the best examples for now, so that's great. Pre-market. Let's look at something here. You need volume always. So that was not on the list, but this traded one share, so everybody understands that it's stupid. So look here in my TC2000. There's this on the watch list. You can select pre-market stocks. This is what I do every morning, and even before pre-markets open, then this says post-market stocks. So I'm looking at what stocks are traded the most, and if they're up or down, well, it does not matter to me that much, but let's look at the stock. There are a lot of small stocks, so small stocks are really moving again, as you can see. Let's look at the stock like BT. Traded this before, and so what I'm looking at firstly, before anything else, this is what we're talking about now. This one, gap up and levels. So, oh, I lost my mouse. Okay, there we go. So gap up, I need a gap up. And what is a gap up? Well, this is post-market close. This is 447. This is pre-market open, 471. And this is a gap up clearly. And now it even trades above this gap here. So pre-market open and post-market close. And the stock is now here around this 491. So if you compare that to what happened on Friday, then you can see here that the gap is even bigger than just post-market close and pre-market open. So if you want to look at a gap up, then the first thing that you can do is look at post-market open, pre-market close. That's one thing, and there you need some room to trade this. And if the gap is even bigger than that, so this is now, this was the low here on Friday, and a low during post-markets, and then it closed above it, and now there's another gap, and so there are more than one gaps, you can say. And then here there is this high here now in pre-market, and now it's trading around 491-ish. So this is what I do every morning on all the stocks that I want to trade. I also look at the dailies before I look if a trend is breaking, so that's something that interests me. But when I'm zooming in on the stock itself for the pre-market, for the reversal long, I don't know if I said that, but that's what I'm looking for. So how to trade the reversal long, and I need this gap. So I need this gap up in order to trade the reversal long, because my reversal long will be something like, I need something like this. And that's why I need a gap up, because if I have a gap up, the stock can just fall down first and then trade back up again. That's why I need to gap up. So after we establish that there is a gap up, considerable gap up that's playable, then we go into levels. And everybody who watches me on the Early Bird Show knows that I'm all about levels. And first and foremost, we're gonna look at this one for BT. Let's take this one because we're just now in this, why not? And look at these levels. So this was not a great stock for more than 3 months. So this started in April, and then the trend is not your friend here. But are these some signs that it just might want to climb back up? Well, this told you something, of course, but then gave it all back. But you can also look at this as some kind of a first movement of a wave upside, because, well, you know by now, or you should know by now, that stocks move like this, not as clear cut as I draw here, of course, but this is how a stock moves normally. This is just perfect. You can draw a line here, and you can draw a line here, and it moves very nicely, so you also know exactly where you can buy it. So if you now, let's zoom into this one here. If you see something like this happening, so this is going on now, oops, going down, now it's going up for the first time since a month or so, and now it's going down, and now it's going back up again. Is this the next thing that might be going like this? That's what you want to know, of course. You want to know this as a day trader, but you also want to know this as so this move here, this is what you want to know. Is this going to happen as a swing trader maybe? And because it looks like this. So, and in order to determine if this is going to happen, then this is the first movement when you can see this low here, and then this next low here is higher than this low. So this is the downward move, and then you have a low here, and then this is a high, this is a low, and this low here, this low at 422 is now higher than the low that was formed here at 395. And now it's starting to get interesting. So you can see, and is this high here is already higher than this high. So this might just be the start of a new wave going up. So now that we have determined that there is a gap up from Friday to Monday, that's one thing that's important. Now we also can see here that there is some hope that this is your first sign that this downward movement that it had for a long time is now at its end, and there is some kind of a bounce going on. So, take those away. You also can look at what happened in other occasions. So this is going down here. This looked like to be a low and then try to get up. So similar to what happens here, up and down again. So, and now trying to get up here and down again. So really try to here to make a first move like so like there's some kind of reversal going on, but you after this low here, oh, after this low here, this and this low here is almost the same. It's a little bit lower, but you could have said, okay, well, I'm gonna ignore this. I'm trying to find some kind of hope that it will get back up again, and you might have found that on this high here. So there is a new high here, trying to close the gap from there to there. Did not just do that. It's debatable, I think. So this low here is 747, and this high here is 745. So almost closed it, but did not do that. And then fell back again. So you don't want something like this going on here. So now you want to buy this in strength, what you can hear me say quite often. So this low is higher than this low. So it gives me a little bit of confidence, certainly because this doji looks like it does here. It certainly gives me some confidence that this is the way back up. So now we're saying, okay, this is something that I want to play. And in order to play something, I always need levels. And why do I need levels? Well, I'm going to show you why. So let's say let's have a look here. Right here on the left side of the screen here, this area. If you're trading with no levels and the stock is going down like this, then you don't know where it will. So you're playing this, you want to see the reverse along. That's what we're talking about now. So this is what we're seeing here. So the stock goes down with candles like this. The stock is going down also here in 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 7.5. 8, trying to get up here again, 9, 9.5, 10, 11. This looks like it wants to go up 12, 13, 14. But if you did not establish levels here, then where do you get in? So this is, if you want to get in here and you have no levels determined here, then where do you get in? You can say, okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles on a 15-minute. Well, it has to go up now. You can say that, but that's not what that's not what happened here. And so, as long as you trade without levels, then you're trading in the middle, and you're just guessing or hoping that it will go up on the first green candle. So that's why you really need to establish levels. And the levels for BTB, we established that now is 422 and 521. So that's a full dollar movement that you can play with this stock. And that should be enough. Well, it's gapping up now around 496. And this blue one is Now above, way above so the pre-market open, it's this blue one, is way above the post-market close. So I want to put in a level here around this point because it bounced twice here on the 15 minutes. So 466 is my level. Then this pre-market open and post-market close are always levels. So and don't draw them in all the time, but because well, the lines are already here. So this is a level for me also every time that I look at it. It's not a strong level per se, but it is a level. And we established now that 422 is a level. So, but let's say that this 466 is the playable level here right now. Then what we need is a setup. That this 466 is the play. We need a setup. So we established a gap up, we established levels, and now we are looking for a setup. So a setup comes in more ways, of course. I discussed that with you in a lot of pre-market shows. So we now established 466 is the level. And there are a few ways that you can trade this right now. So what you can do is you can put in a limit order here at 469-ish, for example. And say, okay, this is going to be my in, green in. And if it comes down and touches this one, then I'm in, and it will bounce on 466. Why? Because I said this was a level, and after this one, it will go up again like this. So this is how you can play it. So you're putting just a limit order just above your level here, and you're going in. That's one way to play it. The other way is, let me erase this one. The other one is that you wait for the setup. And so stock comes down, hits this line here, 466, that's your level. You're waiting until it comes up again. And then you wait for the second confirmation here. And if you get a second confirmation, then you're going in. Because this is confirmation that so this is now double bottom here. And this real strong confirmation. So you don't get in at the first time here, but you got to wait till it gets up. And then when it comes down again and hits this level again, then this is your confirmation and is really support. And then on the next candle, you can just jump in whenever you want with a market order. So this is your second confirmation. Then you can jump in somewhere here on a market order and get in and play to the upside. So that's something that you want to look at in a confirmation. And you can play it also on the third way. I'm going to show you that also. And that's stock comes down, hits this one. And then after establishing something like this, so this low here on this candle, this low is now higher than this low, and this high is higher than this high. So you should be comfortable in getting in here, but then at this level. So this is a lot less risky than the first one that you saw, but you're giving away also 20 cents in this case. Well, you don't want to do that because this is not on scale because I didn't draw it like that. But you can imagine what happens here if it comes down and then after your first lower, higher low and your higher high, if it gets past this line here, then you can get in here and then play this one further to the upside. What can happen then is the scenario that just happened on the other one that I showed you, that it falls down again and you can get confirmation that it's support, and now you are 20 cents in the red. And in order to be sure that you're gonna win some and have, and if you win some, that you also win the big bucks, you need risk management. And let's look at this one at the 1 minute now. I'm going to show you how I do that. So people who watched this before on other occasions, they know that I trade. On every trade, I trade the same amount of money in my, so I'm trading risk units. And everybody can do that. So that's, you determine before you go in, what is my risk unit? And I'm gonna so this risk management starts with risk units. So if you have a small account, for example, then maybe you can just do, say, okay, 40. My risk unit is 40 US dollars, and what you're telling yourself then that you lose $40 on every trade that you make as a maximum. One moment, please. I'm going to just stop sharing this for 1 minute. I'm still here. I'm just want to be sure that you understand what I'm saying here. So here we are. Wait. So this is an example for example, risk unit $500. I used it in another example, for example. So if your risk unit is not 500, but 40, like I said in the example, that's also a possibility. And you can also say, okay, my risk unit is 100, for example, also good. And if you establish something like this for yourself, this risk unit based play, then what you are sure of, that you don't risk anything more than, for example, $40 on a stock, or not on a stock, on a trade. And if you have a bigger account, then you can say, okay, I want to have a risk unit of $400 on a stock, for example. So, and how much that is in your case, that's something I don't know. If you want to know more about that, then I'll maybe do something next week about risk units. But now I'm going to talk about risk management. So let's say that this 485 here is, well, it's not 485. let's say that this is the level now, 45, just to make it simple. So stock comes down, stock comes down. Might want to trade this, by the way. Put it on your watch list, because if it breaks this 521 again, then there's something here. So stock comes down here, boom, boom. And what you want to see right now, this is 485. So this is 485. And let's say that you want to be a little bit conservative in this play and get in around here, so 493-ish. You want to see this one fall down, and then only trade this one if it's this low will be higher than this low, and then to the upsides. This is the 8 o'clock movement here, so nothing going on. So comes down, you want to go in here, and now you have to determine your with how many shares you go in. So, and that's how the way that you do that is you want to see how much can I gain from this play. So you're going from 495 to 521 because this is your the move that you can make, because you determined that this was a level also. So from 495 to 521, that's 25 cents. Win on a $5 stock, that can be enough. And now watch. 25-cent profit. You're going to make 25 cents profits here. That's your aim. In order to make 25 cents profit, you have to set a stop loss here. So you're going to be able, what you want to do is you want to say, okay, I'm risking. How much do you want to risk in order to make 25 cents? Well, in my case, I want to risk 8 cents loss because I want to play 1, 2, 3 on every play that I make. So this is now an 8-cent loss situation for me here. So I'm going in here at this 494, like I told you. We have an 8-cent loss maximum that I want to put in. So the stop loss, if I'm getting in here at this green line, this is my in. This is my target here. This is my target. And 495 minus 8 cents is 484.86. So this is my stop loss. Red one. So because I'm aiming for something like this, so this is a 1-to-3 ratio. Always has to be a 1-to-3 ratio when I'm trading. Because you want to play, this is what you're playing, this is what you're going for, this is what you want to see. And then that's where you get out. Sometimes you don't get as high, you can only get here, and then you see it dropping again, so you have to get out here. So if you have a 1-to-3 profit loss ratio, and 8 out of 10 times you're getting out earlier than you wanted. So that's why you need the 1-to-3 ratio. So if you do this 100 times, you win 50 and you lose 50, which is quite normal, and you're still in a profitable situation. Pasquarino, I'm not late. I hope I'm not late. I'm still here. So this is what I'm looking for in a stock, determining your risk ratio, profit loss, and now that I determined here that my stop loss here is 8 cents. I'm gonna watch my Excel screen. I don't have to watch this anymore. This is just an example, of course. And say, okay, my stop loss is 10 cents. And if there's no spread, then I can buy 5,000 shares of this particular stock in order to be able to trade this always with, in this case, $400 risk unit. So I'm willing to risk $400 if I'm buying 5,000 shares of this BTBT. So that's how you put in risk management as something that you're always watching if you are stepping into trade. So I always know what my risk unit is. I always know the number of shares that I put in, because after a while you learn them by heart in a certain risk unit ratio. And I always want to make a 1-to-3 ratio, because sometimes you're getting out early and sometimes you're getting out a little too early, or you're taking out 75% or something, and then so your 1-to-3 risk ratio is not always something that you can obtain. Well, this took a little bit longer than I thought, but so what we're going to do is we will talk about this last one, this exit strategy. We will do that next Monday. I think that's the best thing to do, because otherwise it's getting a little bit late, and you want to prepare yourself for what's going to happen today. And in order to do that, let's look at some real quick at some. You can play BTBT, by the way, and can put in the levels, not the levels that I put in here, because this is all now based on lessons learned. If you want to know that Excel that I just gave how that works, then I will explain it a little bit more next week, because sometimes it's hard to understand and I really have to pay some more attention to that. So this is the play that you want to make on BTBT 521. So break over 521 now is that's not the play that you're making. That's not a reversal play that we talked about in the lesson, but this is a break over 521. So this is a pre-market breakout trade. I'm going to put this one on my own watch list. And here you want to just see the break above 521, and then it might just 20 cents to this yellow line, so 550-ish. That's something that you want to see on BTBT. So levels for BTBT are 521 and then 550-ish. Because of those two. So you can play the breakout here above 521, and you can just wait till it falls back to this level, this 470 level, and then play the reversal. Quick look at what we talked about this morning on pre-markets. Oh, these are the pre-market stocks. Well, it's still the same. DINT is falling back down, as you can see. So in the early bird show, we saw that this one got all the way up to 250. And I said, well, if it's going to break this 250, then you might want to play this one. That's still an option. So it's down to 161 and now trying to get back up again. If it doesn't, then people are going to short it in VWAP here. That's something that's happening constantly. So it gets up in VWAP and people short it, gets up in VWAP, people short it. If it breaks VWAP, then you might want to play this to the upside, but you have to be very careful if a stock is fading like this, because well, we drew this line more than once, this line, and if this is the trend, then it's not your friend. If you want to play it long, it really has to break this, and you want to see some strength in this one before you play this. Okay, BTBT is up here now, and well, let's just go through these others very quickly. TIFA not moving very much. For trying to get above that 1393 level. Snap, it's now on that 78 level that we discussed. So this might be a nice long, only $1 in it, but it's still a nice play. MCRB, nothing happening. MCOR, nothing happening. You can see that here, volume 1. Guilds, still 68.40 and 70 are the levels here. The same as for cake, 51.22 and 52.38 are the levels here. AMD is trying to get above that 92.37 that we considered as a level, so still the level. Pfizer 41.72, but it falls through that level here. And let's just. This is a double bottom here for Pfizer. So this is what you really want to do before opening, and you should do that one more time just at 3 o'clock Amsterdam time. It's 9 o'clock in some 30 minutes before markets open. You have to do this one more time, go through all your stocks and then look at what's happening. And this is feels like a double bottom to me now. So for Pfizer, there's a new level 41.36 and then 41.72, 41.86. AstraZeneca, well, getting close now to the purple support that we predicted, and let's see if it's holding this level. If it falls through this, then get it off and play from this level, 57.16. Beaky. What did we say? Yeah, this is just a short play on price action. This is trying to catch a falling knife if you're stepping into this one. Why don't you do that? Strange. So Becky, I want to only play on the short sides. Okay, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you did that, then just hit that like. That's just because then I know that I can still do this once a week. I'm having a lot of fun doing this. I'm not going to sell you anything, so hit that like and I'll be happy. Thanks very much for watching, and see you guys all next week on this channel on Wednesday in the early bird show, because tomorrow there is no early bird show, but Wednesday there will be.